Peggy 18.
Go on. Sit down. You know why you're here, young lady, don't you?
Where are you from?
Flemington Girls Institute.
What did you do?
What do you mean?
If you get transferred here, it means you are a real problem.
It's in my head. I can't get out of the loop.
First they made us blind, then they drugged us and burned us alive. It's part of all of us. And we are all part of the same thing. Go away, Jennifer.
You had to be shown who was the real man!
Do you remember me?
I'll never forget a face.
Welcome to the Ashmann Inn. Our lavish accommodations are perfect for anyone looking to get away from it all. We take pride in our top-notch service, providing our guests delectable cuisine. And don't forget to get lost in the wonders of our unique property. Our friendly and hospitable staff will show you every single nook and cranny of the establishment. We have no doubt that Ashmann Inn will be your perfect home for the holidays.
Good evening, Mr. Ashmann.
Peggy 18.
Remothered was born just like a dream. I was at high school and I had this idea since the fact there were no more survival horror with this kind of characterization, And I thought it could be a great idea pointing on some kind of different horror themes. I took a lot of inspiration from other kind of horror movies like Rosemary Baby, but also the movies by Alfred Hitchcock, Psycho, for example, or The Birds. When I started everything, I was just a kid. I was young, I was alone, I didn't have a team and partners yet. Started as just a book, a novel. Then I decided this story could really work well or on a movie or on a video game. I already at the time wrote a complete trilogy because the story was so big that it was impossible to think it as just one story.
In the back of my head, I always had this dream to give life to a development studio, and the opportunity presented itself in 2012 when I met Chris Darril and this project Remothered. The plot was conceived like in the movies, and I immediately thought the game was unique. I didn't recall many other horror sagas that followed the real survival of the character. Like in everyday life, everything that can happen in the game can also happen to any of us, and it had a really exciting story. After its release in 2018, Remothered Tormented Fathers was acclaimed as the spiritual successor of Clock Tower, got listed by GameSpot as one of the scariest games of all time, and as one of the best psychological horror video games of the last 5 years by GameRax. With Remothered Broken Porcelain, we have many surprises in store for players.
For me and my team, Remothered was a challenge because besides being our first game, it was also a great experience to grow. We realized that developing a game is a different thing compared to producing a CGI movie, and then main reason is caused by the limits of the different platforms. Our goal was to keep photorealistic looks while maintaining a constant frame rate. And with this second title, we grew with our experience and we learned how to manage this situation.
With the development team, we worked together with Chris Darril to improve the gameplay of this second title. Without altering too much. We added action for the players that requested that, but without altering the main hide-and-seek component of the game. In Broken Porcelain, the stealth mechanics are realistic and practical. We reproduced what a young girl would do in real life if found in that situation. She can hide, crouch, use obstacles as hiding spots. Compared to other stealth games where the player can count on futuristic weapons, in Remothered we wanted to stay closer to real life. Players have to take advantage of what they find and use their skills and bravery to survive the game.
The story of Remothered will tell you a story, the eternal fight between the science and the religion. So what we have to be afraid of, it's not just the usual monsters, but the mankind itself. And the center of this conflict is this drug, the phenoxyl, that was inspired by the phenoxypropazine. It was for real a drug that was sold during the 50s and the 60s. Really bad side effects. So I took this inspiration from this real part of our history, and I decided to point out this post-traumatic stress disorder drug that could help people to forget a trauma or a bad memory. Remothered 2 anyway will go deeper and deeper. The story we started with the first Remothered. We're going to meet this Rosemary Reed, the protagonist of the first Remothered. Then we have a really hard and strong face-off with the Ashmann Inn, this hotel owner, Mr. Ashmann. But the main character will be this young girl named Jennifer, a 15 years old. She is a misfit and working as a housekeeper. While she's here, she understands there's something covered behind the walls in this hotel, something really, really dark. I would like to say more, but Anyway, probably you need to play it first.
Rated M for mature.
Where do you want me to start?
From the beginning. One late afternoon, a mysterious woman, who introduces herself as Dr. Reed Rosemary, visits the villa of the old notary, Richard Felton, whom suffers from a strange disease. He is assisted by his personal nurse, Gloria Ashmann. After a brief and fruitless conversation, Reed is exposed as an imposter. She has come to the villa to find out what really happened to Felton's missing adopted daughter, Celeste. After being thrown out and refusing to give up, Reed hides until nightfall and sneaks back into the villa to search for clues. As Reed explores the villa, she soon finds herself in the center of her worst nightmare. Richard Felton has killed his wife, Ariana Gallo, and has lost his sanity. Upon learning that Reed has infiltrated the villa, Felton and a mysterious red nun begin hunting Reed. Reed eventually reaches the attic, where a mysterious girl who claims to be called Jennifer is found looming in the shadows. Reed eventually discovers that Richard Felton and the Jennifer in the attic are actually the same person. Richard Felton was born as a woman, but was then forced by her cruel father to live as a man. Phenoxyl, a drug created by Felton, the Ashmanns, and Professor Wyman on the Rosagallo farms, was created from a rare breed of parasitic moths to repress and erase traumatic memories. It is revealed that the drug was tested on Felton and the nuns of the nearby convent. The drug caused terrible side effects: hallucinations, severe light sensitivity, and homicidal rage. As Reed was escaping Jennifer, Gloria returns to the villa and offers to help Reed. Gloria drugs Reed, and upon wakening, she finds Gloria forcing Felton to cut out his own tongue and burn himself to death. Gloria reveals that she is the Red Nun, the sole survivor of the fire at the convent, which was started to cover up the phenoxyl experiments. Gloria had been hypnotizing Felton for revenge. After a frantic confrontation, Reed manages to escape Gloria's murderous rage. Just before Gloria passes, she reveals that Celeste is still alive and that she had fled the Felton villa years ago. Reed must continue her search for unanswered questions. If Gloria was the daughter of Felton's associates, the Ashmanns, why was she used as a guinea pig for experiments in the convent? Who were the Feltons protecting their daughter from? What happened to Celeste Felton? After being expelled from the Flemington's Girl Institute, a young girl named Jennifer is transferred to the Ashmann Inn to work as a housekeeper. While at the Ashmann Inn, Jennifer befriends two other girls, Lindsay and Eliza. Their friendship is the only thing that makes living at a remote inn bearable. But there is something wicked in the halls of the Ashmann Inn. Jennifer soon feels a malicious presence and encounters a terrifying being called Porcelain and a mysterious red nun. But those are not the only threats that loom in the Ashmann Inn. When the residents hear the tick of a metronome, they fly into a murderous rage, with Jennifer as their target. In order to survive, Jennifer must fight or hide and pray they do not find her. Meanwhile, Reed travels to the Ashmann Inn to meet the proprietor, Stefano Ashmann. Reed is continuing her investigation to find Celeste Felton and believes the inn could be the lead she needs. Jennifer and Rosemary are out to find their truths. But what dangers lie ahead of them?
Rated M for mature.
Please come in, Miss Reed. Come in.
Good evening, Mr. Ashmann. Do you remember me?
Only between old friends.
I'm Jennifer, by the way.
Lindsay? But call me Lynn.
At last.
It's just a bad dream.
Where are you? Show yourself!
What the
What have you done to her?
You won't do it, Mr. Ashmann.
Of course I will.
Rated M for mature.
The girl is here. Shall I let her in?
What did you do?
What do you mean?
If you get transferred here, it means you are a real problem.
I'm Jennifer, by the way.
Lindsay? But call me Lynn.
Do you believe in fate? This place isn't so bad after all. Just kidding.
We are all part of the same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing.
What did you do?
You're the only thing that has ever made me feel alive.
Rated M for mature.
It seems you are a magnet for trouble. From what I'm reading, you caused a lot of hassle, especially at the Flemington Girls Institute.
All I can do is apologize.
Everything okay with Ashmann? Can't be upset with me forever.
I'm trying not to be, but my arm keeps reminding me.
Go away!
I thought we knew each other, but I was wrong.
It's part of all of us. We are all part of the same thing.
Monsters.
It's just a bad dream.
Do you remember me?
I'll never forget a face. Why are you so obsessed? Do you not see what this insatiable cipher has led you to?
I tried to warn you. I tried to get you to leave.